Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Our big story tonight, the trade war between the U.S. and China could hit Arizona with a double whammy.
President Trump put a positive spin today on his China tariffs on everything from women's handbags to Christmas decorations, while China threatened to retaliate with its own.
Arizona consumers will likely feel the pain, but that pain could go much deeper compared to other states. Team 12 political insider Bram Resnick is here and verifies why Arizona has so much more to lose in a trade war. Bram?
Yeah, all that stuff we buy from China generates the sales taxes that help pay for Arizona schools and other things we rely on. Now, Arizona counts on sales taxes more than other states do. So if tariffs shut down our spending, the state's services could suffer. It seems just about everything we buy is shipped from China, and President Trump is targeting almost all of it for tariffs.
We're having a little squabble with China.
That little squabble could drive up prices on 6,000 made-in-China products before they hit our store shelves. Trump's tariffs would slap the equivalent of a 25% tax on cell phones and laptops, toys and car seats, shotguns and Christmas decorations, even the aluminum cans for beer, and countless more things we buy. Here in Arizona, we verify the tariffs could hit us with a double whammy. Businesses could suffer if sales slow down, and the state would feel the pinch from lost taxes on those sales. That matters because Arizona relies more heavily than almost any other state on sales taxes. 45 cents of every dollar Arizona spends on services we count on is generated by sales taxes. Sales tax collections total about $1,000 a year for every person in the state. Overall, Arizona ranks 5th in the country for its dependence on sales taxes. Economists, even President Trump's, agree these tariffs will be painful.
Both sides will pay in these things.
And the first public hearing on the U.S. tariffs is scheduled for June 17th. The first of at least 3 rounds of tariffs could be imposed just days later and roll through the summer. China is threatening to retaliate in June with its own tariffs. Let's send it back to you.
All right, Bram.